Okay, class, so this class I'm just going to basically show you something that is from Disney. On my first show I worked at Disney called Jake and the Neverland Pirates. This is something that I'm just going to show and tell. Obviously I'm not going to give you or can give you this file of fear of terrible repercussions, but however you are going to understand a little bit about harmony rigging and how these things work. This all goes back all the way down to Harmony 10. And so this is an old rig, an old build, and doesn't have deformers. I do want to show you the timeline. Note that Smee is in a group, and in his group he has, and if I go to this, turn animation on, he has a master peg, all right, and this work was done by Mercury Filmworks up in Canada, all right, and this is what we would call one of their super builds. It's a lot less super now, now that the technology has advanced some. But anyway, this is his overall peg on his overall group. Okay, but more importantly, let's look at the timeline. You notice that you have all of these that look like white boxes or empty keys. This just means that this group or at this level isn't key, but there are keys below it. So if I go one step and open this up, there are my keys. And if I open up everything, you'll see that everything is keyed. You see that? And now right now I'm scrolling through all of Smee's special poses. Look how much drawing there is actually done. Okay? But in all honesty, all of these things can be altered by just simply changing the hand pose. And I'm doing this using the left and right bracket key, or if I click on drawing substitutions, this is all the hands there are that he has. So I can click on any one of these hands, wrong or right, like that would be correct and that would be fine. Make sure that the thumb is on the right, is on the correct side, right? And then when I'm doing that, if I hit O, I'm actually changing this drawing. And these other drawings are actually, these other ones are in sync with it. And this is just an advanced rigging method. I won't get into it, like why when I'm highlighting this one, all the others are. And the reason why is that there are more drawings that are synchronized together for one hand. So, for example, if you notice when I clicked on this, just the thumb is highlighted. But the thumb is a part of a whole bunch of series of other things. I digress. None of that is really that important, but what you do have to understand is that all of this is pre-built or pre-rigged, and some of this is all these stripes are all put into place. I can change all of his feet and his different feet positions. All of this is what's called pre-built or pre-drawn, and all of these poses are pre-made because these are common poses that seem to always come up in his rig. And they're really funny and they're really cute, right? And so now if I keep scrolling forward, you'll see all the different expressions that the animator can copy and paste. And we have something now called the pose copier. Actually, now we have something called the master controller, which is also going to take the place of the pose copier. And here we have walk cycles that he did, or the studio did, from front to 3/4 to another 3/4, and they're not actually syncing up perfectly, if you notice that, because the drawing substitution isn't quite working. And you'll notice that the drawing substitutions look a little bit wacky in places, like you have all of these crazy shapes. That's because there's a lot of cutters, or what we call mats, doing a lot of special effects behind the scenes to make this look right. Okay? So, and then you have side, rear 3/4, rear walk, and then we have runs. Okay, and this is all a model pack. This is what they do when they do a character build, and they spend months and months doing these builds. And then we have, once we do the head, and a large portion of the head, and we also make sure that this will turn around or tween easily. I'm going to hit 0 on my keyboard, open this up. That they want to make sure that this will tween, or these poses will tween pretty well. And so here you have a head that it looks 3D or three-dimensional. I assure you it is not. It is just the sliding of pieces that makes it look dimensional. And all of these things have to be drawn and drawn ahead of time and pre-drawn. But you do not, and this goes to Patrick, have to symbolize anything to change anything in your animation. All right, all you have to do is make new drawings in the same drawing column, right? And add drawings by saying create new drawing, make another hand, or duplicate drawing by altering the same hand. Okay, maybe you want to do something a little different, even though the hand shape is pretty similar to another. Okay, I'm going to reduce that down. So you can see how many hands they took and took the time to make this. This takes months and months and months of work. And just to scare you all to death, this is a little bit about how big this network looks. So, and I worked in Tangled, trust me, those are even bigger. So here's Smee, and this is his network. So this, I'm going to zoom out. Come on, let's zoom out. We're going wide. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Right? And right now, that is entirely, oops, stop, zoom back in, we're getting away. This is Smee's build. Now this may look like an incredible amount of work, and it is, but I assure you they've gotten bigger and more sophisticated. But I can also tell you that this portion here is the head, this is the middle body, and this is the lower body. Everything is logical and reads left to right. And as chaotic as this may look, it is actually very well organized. And this is what I wanted to see from your work, Patrick, as well, is that you can line up, right? And I'm going to zoom in on this. You can line up all of your greens, all of your blues, I mean all your TGVs, and then all of the stuff that's happening below it. These are all cutters and different effects that happen. And this is a lot more advanced rigging process. But yes, all of your blues need to line up so that we can see those connections. It is important to see those connections so that when you need to make an abridge or an amendment, or you just need to see or isolate something and add a new display node so that you can just see, here's just so I can see Smee's eyes. I can select a display and say Smee's eyes, eyes Smee, right? And that's what this display mod and this thing here is doing, is just showing me where his eye positions are. But we do not symbolize. We use drawing substitutions, okay? And that's what we use all the time. So this is just a brief overview of how far and you can take it. And why Harmony is so powerful, because it's not symbolized. It's all on top, all of it. All of this is raw on top with cutters and new things and mouth shapes. So if I were to select the mouth, I can change how he talks. Notice that the beard automatically goes with it. And I can do my lip sync here with this. So yeah, I can just cue that up. Drawing substitutions on the mouth, right? There's all his mouth shapes, but it looks like a cluttered mess because there's a lot of different things going on. Okay, and you can move the eyes. The eyes, there's no cutter, I don't think, in the eyes on this one. Sometimes they'll put cutters and they'll stay in the head, but sometimes you want to get, if it's a stylistically, you want to get that weird cartoony pupil overlap. Okay, and again with the hands and all the different angles. All right, so that's just a bit of a preview of where you can take and what is out there in the industry and how far you can take this build. I don't expect this much from you, but I do want you to add more hands to your rigs and do some of the basics, and you'll get there. And then once we get to advanced puppeting and rigging, we'll take a look at some of those cool special effects that are on this network. All right, that's it for you guys.